While creator Matt Groening is best known for another little animated series he started working on in the 80s, many fans would argue that Futurama is his true magnum opus. Here are some of the darkest Futurama fan theories that you'll never be able to unlearn. In Parasites Lost, the 4th episode of Season 3, Fry's legendary appetite gets the better of him. Despite Leela's objections, the dim-witted delivery boy gets down with a questionable sandwich from a space gas station, and predictably, he finds his insides crawling with parasitic worms. Fortunately for Fry, these worms aren't concerned with causing indigestion and diarrhea. Instead, they immediately get to work establishing a society and improving their host body.
Of all the parasites I've had over the years, these worms are among the... Hell, they are the best!
The worms tone Fry's muscles, turning him into a shredded god, and wire new synaptic connections in his brain. Their work bestows the lowly delivery boy with super intelligence and the ability to play the maddeningly difficult holophoner, a musical instrument that projects holographic images when expertly played. The new Fry even catches Leela's eye, though he ultimately becomes concerned that Leela only loves him for his parasites. In true Futurama fashion, Fry is cured of his helpful parasites by the end of the episode, but one fan theory suggests this wasn't the end of the story, at least not for Fry. According to this dark theory, the parasites left a hole in Fry's soul, the understanding of his true potential. Proponents of this theory argue that you can see a marked change in Fry's behavior from this point in the series on. Forever haunted by the brief glimpse of personal success that the parasites offered, Fry becomes less irresponsible and more committed to self-improvement to make himself once again worthy of Leela. The last scene of the episode lends some credence to this theory. In that moment, Fry is seen sitting by himself with a holophoner, attempting a rudimentary melody that projects a sloppy portrait of Leela. It's a sad story, since Fry never again achieves the heights of success afforded him by the worms. If you've only seen a few episodes of Futurama here and there, you might have a hard time imagining that Bender Bending Rodriguez was ever anything other than the foul-mouthed, beer-swilling, flatulent robot that we've all come to know and love. But what if that roguish personality on display for 139 of the show's 140 episodes was nothing more than a runtime error? According to one disturbing theory, Bender just wasn't the same robot before his happenstance meeting outside the suicide booth with Philip J. Fry in the show's very first episode. When the two future roommates first met in the pilot, they were both on the verge of dying, Bender by intention and Fry by mistake. We learn in the course of their meet-cute that Bender used to help make suicide booths by bending the metal girders used in their construction. This sad blue-collar bending robot willing to take his own life out of shame for the moral repugnance of his profession is a bit of a departure from the Bender who signs up to crew Professor Farnsworth's delivery ship. So what changed? According to one fan theory, the big shift happened just moments later, when Bender is electrocuted in the Head Museum's Hall of Criminals. After that shock, Bender seems much more willing to bend the rules, pun intended, and go along with Fry's escape plan while they run from the cops. The theory suggests that this one shock was enough to reboot Bender's entire personality. We actually see a version of this play out in a later episode when Bender is rebooted as a result of trauma from a killer whale attack. That reboot makes Bender act like a penguin, suggesting that his surroundings at the time of reboot actually do impact his personality algorithm. Zapp Brannigan is one of the most memorable secondary characters on Futurama. When the bumbling starship captain was first introduced, he was little more than a one-dimensional, self-aggrandizing buffoon, a satire of characters like William Shatner's James Kirk, original captain of the Starship Enterprise. That all changes on subsequent episodes, however, as the character accrues significant depth across several intersecting missions with the Planet Express crew. He gains so much depth, in fact, that some fans have theorized that some of his behavior may be explained by PTSD. This dark theory weaves together several disparate pieces of Brannigan's slowly unfolding backstory into a tapestry of woe. The canonical Futurama comics help explain some things by establishing that Brannigan was the greatest military recruit the Democratic Order of Planets had ever seen. He was so gifted, in fact, that scientists hoped to make him into an army by cloning him. The experiment was botched, leaving Brannigan as a sex-crazed, junk food-craving, diminished version of his former self. His early successes help explain why he was able to rise through the ranks, despite the experiment gone wrong, but then things seemed to take a darker turn. According to Zapp himself, his crowning military achievement came when he vanquished the Killbots by making the decision to send every single one of his soldiers into battle simultaneously, thus overwhelming the Killbots' programming. Such a gutsy surge tactic likely came with substantial human casualties, a cost that this theory suggests has haunted Zapp ever since. Tortured by the post-traumatic stress of losing so many men, Brannigan's already self-destructive tendencies only got worse. So we got a formerly great soldier who became a formerly great captain, a shell of his former self, more concerned with women and food than he is with service. It's hard to laugh at a serious psychological disorder like PTSD, so we really hope this theory isn't true, but we'd be lying if we said it doesn't make a lot of sense. Of all the Futurama fan theories out there in the multiverse, this one is definitely the darkest. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.